Prem Swalavindra Bihari Lala ki jai. Sitaram again, everybody. Let's all stand as we begin this morning with Arti. Put your hands together as we are about to wave this divine light. Sajam cha vardi sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokya timirapaham Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti Papiyo ko paap se Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki aarti Papiyo ko paap se ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल के आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की आरती पापियों शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला है सुख करनी हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन के आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की आरती पापियों को पाप से ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम श्याम यही श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु के महिमा के आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान कवेत जम्बो
फलचार भक्षितम्
उमासुतं
शोकविनाशकारकम्
नमामि विघ्नेश्वर
पारपङ्कजम्
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये
शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके
शरण्ये
त्र्यम्बिके गौरी
नारायणी
नमोस्तुते।
ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा
गुरुर्विष्णु
गुरुर्देवो
महेश्वरा
गुरुर्साक्षात्
परं ब्रह्म
तस्मै श्री
गुरुवे नमः।
ॐ नमो
भगवते
वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो
भगवते
वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Devotees, please have your seat. This morning marks the last morning of final morning of Bhagavad discourse. We have lunchtime, we have this evening session of Bhagavad, and then tomorrow morning we'll be doing the Visarjan, the Gita part, the Matrika Puja, and then we'll be returning the dirt when we did our Matikor, the start of our Yagya. At this point, let us say together some mantras to Devi as we pray using this Kunjika Stotra, where we are asking Mother for her choicest blessings. Please draw your hands and let's say our prayers together. Whilst I'm saying this prayer, dear Ma, Mahadev Baba is the one who's reciting this prayer. Ma, please listen to the prayer of your devotee and bless us with the health, the healing, the happiness that we all need. Shrunu Devi Pravakshami Kunjika Stotra Uttamam Yena Mantra Pravena Chandi Japa Shubham Bhavet Na Kavacham Nargala Stotra Kelkilam Na Rahasvayam Kam Na Suktam Nyapi Jnanam Nacha Nyaso Na Varchanam Kunjika Pat Matrena Durga Pat Palam Lavet Atigyo Yatham Devi Devanam Nyapi Dulabham Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Vicha Om Glam Hum Klim Jumsa Jwala Jwala Jwal Jwal Prajwala Prajwala Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Vicha Jwal Ham Sam Lam Sham Fat Namo Namam Om Namaste Rudra Rupinyai Namaste Madhumardini Nama Kaitavharinyai Namaste Mahisa Sarini Namaste Shubhahantre Chani Shumba Surgatini Jagratam He Mahadevi Japam Siddhi Kurushtwame Aimkari Shrishta Rupai Himsa Karini Pratipalika Klinkari Kamarupinye Bijarupe Namostute Chamunda Chandagatischa Yinkari Vardayini Vicha Chabayadha Nityam नमस्ते मंत्र रूपिणी ओम दम धिम धुम दुर्गते पत्नी वाम विम वुम भगेश्वरी क्राम क्रीं क्रूं कालिका देवी सम सिम सुम मे शुभम कुरु ओम हुम कार रूपिण्यै जम 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 जब वंद नंदिनी ब्राम ब्रीम ब्रूम भैरवी भद्र भरणायनी ते नमो नमः. Dear God, you who pervade in all forms of life, animate, inanimate, mobile, immobile, we call upon you in your various energies to support us, bless us, and remove the obstacles, the hard, the negative, that negative energy. Om Kam Kam Tam Tam Pam Yam Sam Vim Dhum Aim Hrim Ham Sham Dirgam Dirgam Troya Trotaya Diptyam Kurume Nama Om Pam Pim Pum Parvati Punar Kam Kim Kum Kechari Tatha Sam Sim Sum Sapta Shati Pat Divya Mantra Kurshtva Me Idam Tu Kunjika Stotra Mantra Jagriti Hitave Abhyenaiva Tatvyam Gopikam Raksha Parvati Yastu Kunjikaya Devi Hinamna Sapta Siddhim Pat Natasya Jayate Siddhya Artam Rodhanam Yataya Iti Shri Rudraya Mali Gauriya Tantri Shiva Parvati Sambad Kunjika Stotra Shriman Maha Markande Mahapuranya Sankalp Samarpitam Vishnu Bhagwan Ki Jai Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. This morning we continue in the 10th Skandha. Now we go to chapter 88. Last night we did the Katha of Sri Daman or Sudama, and we heard why Lord Krishna was so friendly with him. We heard how the Shank comes from Sudama. We heard where, because of Sudama pronouncement, Radha is not allowed to get married to Krishna when they are on the earth. And all of this Leela that happens before and after the Janam of Krishna Janam upon the earth, and how that friendship spanned that time whilst he was here, and when they returned to Golok and they remained friendly because of the character, the personality and persona of Sudama. This morning as we continue, this is the last discourse where Lord Shiva interacts with Lord Krishna. Before we go into discourse, everybody put your hands together as we do Sumiran. Use this opportunity to say a prayer. Redhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sarana Varana Varana Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko Ganapati Kripa Nidan Jnana Khani Ananda Bhavan Deho Mohi Vardhan Varno Bhasha Bhagavat Jai Shiva Ananda Khan Bhutanata Bhaubayarana Bhakti Vishaya Nirdhan Gauravadana Mangala Karana He Braja Chandra Mukunda Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana Katahu Bhava Bhaya Panda Charana Sharana Re Anakaram Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Jam Mahima Mita Ape vadana vadana sumiro barambar sumiro barambar madana kadana ke lal ko Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. As we have been talking for these many evenings and sessions, Raja Parikshit is getting ready to leave this world. When we have the structure of what is called Saptaha Bhagavat, 7 days, 3 sessions for the day, this was created by a guru in an attempt to save his godchild. That is the history of why this is made the way it is. This intense time spent in the company of Lord Vishnu is being ready initially from Sukdev Goswami into Raja Parikshit, the grandson of Arjun. Arjun, who is living or is photographed on the copy of your Bhagavad Gita at home. This is long after the Mahabharata war. Lord Krishna had left the earth. Arjun and all his brothers have left the earth. And Parikshit now sits on the throne. If you read in the 11th Skandha of this same Bhagavat, when Yudhishthira saw Lord Krishna leave the earth, he starts to grieve. And he wants to make preparation now that Krishna is no longer on the earth, that he does not wish to rule. And he takes the crown off his head and he gives it to the son of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu, the child, had died. But within the wife, a baby was growing. That baby became Raja Parikshit. So the throne passed from Yudhishthira straight to Parikshit. And Parikshit is this strong personality. In the first part of Bhagavat, he is there when Kali Yuga is coming. From the time Krishna left the surface of the earth, Kali Yuga started to come in. And Parikshit is the person who subdues Kali Yuga and pushes him back. You cannot come. You cannot take these people. You cannot take this place. And as the Katha went on, Kali Yuga says, but this is my time. This is the time for me to rule. And he puts him, Sitaram, he puts him in 4 places. One of those places is where gold. He tells him, you remain in gold, and any person that is a servant or a lover of gold, the person will be overpowered by you. And Parikshit one day happened to put on the crown. Sitaram. He puts on the crown, the golden crown that he had. And in that moment, Raja Parikshit became deluded. And he makes a crazy mistake of being impatient and trying to frighten the godfather. As those of you know, this dead snake around his neck. And when he did it, he gets a shrap, long story short, that in 7 days you are going to die. And Bhagavat was created as a tool to rid this man of the sin, that his life was going to be lost. But before he lost his life, he wanted to atone for all the karma. And for this reason, till today, people read from Bhagavat in this way to help each and every person with their karmic load, with the difficult moments that we all go through because of karma. I am listening, I am endeavoring to do Shravanam, or the act of listening to prayer, but not of any discourse. It is of this type of discourse where Lord Vishnu has taken, not only in this Skandha where we are primarily dealing with Lord Krishna, but in Bhagavat you will come about Sri Ram, Narsingh, Varaha, different Katha, different points in time as time is passing. This text is referred to as Bhagavat. Bhagavat means again the body of Bhagwan. By listening to it, it is as if you are asking the body of Sri Hari Vishnu in the 4-handed form, please sit and pervade over my body. Please clear my prasit karma is repenting. One example of prasit is doing Havan with Gayatri. So today, as we are drawing closer and closer to the end of our yag, everybody does Gayatri, everybody does things like Chandipat and different types of scripture and praise chanted. Dear God, if whilst we were doing this yag I contaminated the prayer. My karma, my way of thinking. I stole the neighbor's flowers and I come to offer it in the people's prayers. If, for example, anything I did affected the outcome of the prayer, please forgive me. Clear my way, forgive me. Don't let that mistake I made interfere with the prayer of other people. When you are doing a yag by one family, it becomes very easy to control. But when you have a mixed group of family, people, how they look at prayer, how they look at fasting, one person pulls a shortcut, but it impacts many other people. Yesterday in our lunchtime discourse, Lord Vishnu says, depending on the action that a person takes, it could become, in prayers, that is, it could become worse than poison. He says poison, the halal poison Lord Shiva drank here, will kill only the person who drink the poison, nobody else. But when a person insults somebody, when a person insults the pundit who doing the prayers for them, or the guests who come to witness the prayers, depending on the circumstance, it affects your past generation in the form of pitras, you and your generation to come. The person is more accountable how they conduct themselves when they are doing prayer. For this reason in Gita, you will see it have sattvic prayer, tamasic prayer, rajasic prayer. The way you do the prayer, what you're praying for example. We have been talking about how people could use mantra for unrighteous reasons. And I was highlighting for everybody to understand what is mohana, what is vashikaran. These things do exist. And when a person sits down to do prayer and they're using different ingredients in their puja, that it is real, that it exists, that a person wants to go for a visa, a court matter, and they are afraid that they are not favorable. So you would hear somebody say, Babs, could I have a mantra? I have to go in front of this magistrate, and I want the magistrate to see my face or see me and have favor with me. I want to go to the interview and I must be favored. I must get the job. The person must like me. Those type of prayer is referred in our text as mind control or Vashikaran mantra. Without the prayer, you would not have gotten the job. Without the prayer, you would not have been heard or favored. The power of the prayer is using the Brahman or the Shakti or the Devi to enhance a certain character or characteristic that you are trying to pull on. I am trying to get that person to do what I want. So when I say a prayer, that the energy must react in such a way it goes on that person, and the person say, well, that resume lacking, but something about this person, my blood take them and I want to give them a chance. There is good use for that, and then it have nefarious use where somebody wants the young lady to act in accordance and cheat in she marriage, leave husband and commit friend, for example. And that goes both ways with man and woman. People use it for all forms of take advantage or corruptive type purpose. So when the person now being affected by external factors like that, where somebody's praying for you to fall, we heard very well internal demonic forces where you become your own enemy based on the Katha of Krishna. Krishna is the one that is able to help you, yes, like Arjun, conquer the battle outside, but also conquer the demon inside of you. Things like addiction, things like, you're beyond in terms of your arrogance, your level of ignorance, and you don't know or you don't want to know better. There you'll have a problem. This morning, Parikshit wants to know more. He says, I have listened to you talk about how Lord Shiva is so easily won over. I have heard how Krishna is the helper, but I am never, and you check your own knowledge. I go on so much a yag, but I just only hear Brahma giving gift like Santa Claus. Anybody asks for something, getting it. Lord Shiva just give grace. He is the guy, he just give grace to the Devta, he will give grace to the demon. He just give everybody something, like the Vrkasura with the 1,000 hand, and then them same hand wanted to come back and damage good people. So he's asking, what is this? Why is it so? Please explain this for me a little better. and tell me how, one more time, tell me how Krishna is able to help save the person, no matter what heights, what position they may have. Could you explain so that I could build my confidence in this persona? Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम, भोले बाबा तब शरणम, जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम, जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम, इति दैत्य मुनि शिव, शिव भक्त महेंद्र ये वरना, लीला स्वभाव ये विक्रूर, भवति भवति जातस्य,
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम, 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम, जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
Raja Parikshit says, I have a little doubt. I see people attaining fruits of their prayer very easy with Brahman and Shiva. But when it comes to Lord Vishnu, it is a little ticklish. It seems that when people worship Vishnu, they don't get the blessing of Lakshmi, for example. That a person does not become wealthy. Like Sudama, the person becomes wealthy in their disposition or their peacefulness. And even if there is physical wealth, it means very little to them. However, if a person prays to Shiva, that person could become, just as Kabir did, they become highly placed and highly favored financially. Could you explain why this trend exists? Hari 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 Nirgun Sakshat Purusha Prakriti Te Parsaye Sarva Dukyatam Krishti Paraye Ati.
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम, जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम,
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम,
जय भोले बाबा
जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम,
जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम,
जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. He says the form of Shiva and the form of Vishnu are two different forms. Shiva is always together with the divinity called the Shakti or the goddess, but he is swayed by Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. He has Sattvic form, Rajasic form, Tamasic form. He is affected by the place where the lingam is kept, the way it is kept, how it is kept. He suffers from rules. For example, because of the interaction with Parvati Mata in Brahmavaivat Puran, till today, when we offer food of Naived by the lingam, we have the habit of not taking his jutta. What is given to him stays with him. For that reason, you do not hear people say Shiv Arpanam. He is not beyond the gunas, but he's affected. So you will find that some days he's very calm, tranquil, sitting like how he's there in that pitya, very peaceful. And then you will see him play a lila. For example, when we hear of how in Shiv Puran he decapitates Ganesh, in Brahmavaivat Puran it says that there was a question asked, how is it? If he is the father of the universe, if he is so knowledgeable, he is here, there and everywhere, Lord Shiva, how come he didn't know the innocent child was his son? How come he didn't know, this child was a good force and not a demonic force? Why would he kill a child? And it's only when you hear how Lord Shiva gets a shrap from Surya Dev, because the Kashyap for harming Surya. Kashyap says in a war with Sumali and Mali, when Lord Shiva threw the Trishul to hit Sumali, imagine two people stand up opposite each other, and in between Surya passed, and he took the Trishul on his chest and in the moment dies. Kashyap Muni takes his son's head and rests it in his lap, saying his mantras, revive his son. Surya gets up, but before he revived him, he says, you are such a sinful person that you have caused me to see the dead body of my child. And for that experience, for the tears that I have lost, etc., I promise you, I bless you that you will cause this form of death and destruction to your own child. Lord Shiva bowed to him, but when Surya wakes up, Surya says, Dad, what are you doing? How could you curse Shiv Baba? What will happen now? Bad things happen when you persecute Lord Shiva. Upon the earth, the goddess reacts. So Surya, they will bless him. Your son will fall, he will be lifeless, but then he will get up, regain his strength, and continue doing his work. For this reason, in that Shiv Puran discourse, Lord Shiva does destroy Ganesh Baba. Ganesh Baba is lifeless, and when they breathe life into him, when Lord Vishnu chooses the elephant head for him, he does wake up. Until today, we have Ganesh Puja. Lord Shiva is affected by the people that are around him in different ways. He is still not over and out of the three gunas. However, Lord Vishnu is the one. He is unaffected and he remains separate, as well as in the case of Krishna avatar, he could come upon the earth and interact, mix with the gunas, with the Shakti, with the energy, and not be affected. In this now, when the person prays to him in this way, blessed is the person that is able to get long-standing, beneficial blessings. Meaning, the money that you harp on, the house, the car that you harp on, those things are temporary. And for this reason, Lord Vishnu gives you what is real. It is an example when we use the word, God gives you what you need and not what you want. Sometimes, Lord Vishnu says, I give a person poverty. Parikshit says, why would you want to make somebody poor? He says, in that poverty, a person learns about themselves and a person perseveres 10 to 1. The person appreciates family life, they appreciate time, they grow in love. And then one day, I return that luster and grace to them. Prem se bolo Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Guruji says, do you understand? Raja Parikshit says, could you give me one discourse? I've heard that Lord Krishna comes on earth to rid the earth of the burden. Could you give me a discourse where that happens with unrighteous or not as guided people? Tell me, who did he help? How did he help for the benefit of all? Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Parikshit, did you see what gold did to you? Lord Shiva's grace could go to anybody and anything that they want. But Lord Vishnu's grace, He does not give you necessarily what you want, but what you need. Many people do His prayer, He says, and they come and they gain maybe not what they are asking for, but what they need, what will satisfy them, what will allow them to give up this form, move on, find peace, find shanti, etc. My grace gives that. Guruji, could you please tell me of when He gave it to somebody and what were they able to achieve? Tata paryayatam shashuri vyuha labhaye rajanam yoga vijayayate.
Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radha Raman, Hari Bol,
Jai Radha Raman,
Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radha Raman, Hari Bol.
Shrapa praseda yog Brahma Vishnu Rudra Daya Sadhya Shrapaham Sangaye Shiva Brahma Ye Ayate Na Chakshoya Yitame Vrishwa Ayatam Jai Jai Radha Raman
Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radha Raman, Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. He says there are many examples where I have helped the devotee. Siddharam, where I have helped the devotee beyond what they were praying for and what they were asking for. One example of that is when Lord Shiva found himself in difficulty with Vrkasura. Vrkasura is a demonic individual who is related to Shaukani from the Mahabharata. And this wicked-minded fella is praying and asking God for the world of gifts and vardhan and thank you and different type of ashirvad that would allow him to destroy his enemies. Vrkasura had prayed to Devi and he did not get the quality of outcome that he wanted. So he adds fervor and different types of ingredients. This was a man bent on doing and getting what he wanted. There are some people that try and they fail, maybe they try again, but at some point they accept defeat. This is not that type of person. He continues, he says, okay, if I offer you red flowers, will you accept it? Will you give me what I want? No. All right, I'm going to get fresh cow butter, I'm going to get this, that, and the other, and anything that could have gone anyhow and goes. One day, David wanted to turn him down again, and Narad Muni is ushered to go and give him the bad news. Narad Muni went and says, Oh, Vrita, I think you are going to fail in your application one more time. Why or how is it you cannot accept this rather? Why don't you pray to Shiva? That people like you, for as far as I could remember, have been praying to Shiva. Remember Bhanasur, the son of Bali? Remember Ravan? He says these long time people, now time people, they were members of your family. And they prayed to Lord Shiva. Bhanasur inherits 1,000 hands. Ravan gains great strength. But that same Shiva pays. It is as if he regrets helping these people. Sukdev Goswami says one of the features of Lord Vishnu's worship is that Lord Vishnu is not affected by the qualities of the devotee. Meaning to say, when Banasur got his power, Bana made Shiva his worker based on our satsang. He tells Shiva, you stay outside my wall. And if anybody comes here to harm, damn, interfere with anybody, you have no choice. You have to stand up here and be my protector. And Lord Shiva bowed and accepted it. When he gives Dashanan, or what we call Ravan, the power, he comes and shakes the house of Lord Shiva. He lifts up Kailash Parbat and he's shaking it and he's singing the Tandav Stotra. That I want more power, I want more Bardhan, I want more gift. He says Lord Vishnu, on the other hand, is not affected by this. A good example of that, have you ever heard the Katha where Lord Vishnu, I don't know if you ever saw it in Pitya, Lord Vishnu has a horse head. I think it in this Pitya, the Panchmukh Hanuman. Right. It is a form popular in South India. Not too much. Our people traditionally came from North. It is very popular, equivalent to one of the forms of Lord Vishnu. Me and you worship such as Narsingh, such as Varaha, etc. In that discourse, it is said that Lord Vishnu separated from Lakshmi Mata at a time. So he's by himself, living like a bachelor, and he propped his chin on a bow. A great disturbance occurs and they need help. The devatas are calling and clamoring for his help, but they don't get across the Milky Ocean to go and meet Lord Vishnu on top of the snake. So when they look, the Lord, his jaw is resting on the edge of the bow and he's sound asleep. And Brahma tells the ants, if you go and wake him up, just bite it too. If you go and wake him up, I'll be very happy with you, I'll bless you. The ant says, anybody who interferes with that man, my words, today I'm summarizing, anybody who interferes with that man, just get damage. There's no benefit to go and doing this work and then I, the ants, alone get sin, shrap, burn, damage, whatever it be. I won't do it. Lord Brahma has to make a deal with these ants. If you allow this to happen, if you take your part and do your work, whenever there is prayer, you will have first dominion over the altar. Watch yourself when you're home doing prayers with your Baba. When it does happen, you don't know where they come from, but the Bedi is overrun. You could be wall-to-wall concrete, etc. But ants somehow find a way to your Bedi. They're nowhere else. They're not on the table, on the chair, or anything like that. But Bedi has ants. And this is where the Hindu says, leave them, they are doing their job. Don't kill, don't spray, don't do these things. This is the deal that was made. When they go and they bite the toe now, when Brahma gave them that position, the jump and the jolt, this jaw took off the head with the power of his bow. It's not an ordinary weapon. The head disappears. And that same Shiva brings the head of a horse, puts it on his body, and now continues in his Leela, fighting bad, etc. People do that higher grief form prayer for help with sickness. When something like this happens, Lord Vishnu seems very stable, full of equilibrium. But if it was Brahma, Brahma is inside Krishna Janam Katha when he was young and he is in Vrindavan. But Lord Krishna, the little child, teaches him a lesson in humility. He breaks him. He allowed Brahma to thief all the Gopas and Gwalins, all the male and female little boys and girls that would maintain the cow. To prove the point that he was more powerful than Brahma, he leaves all of them in his captivity. Didn't fight him. But Lord Krishna expanded himself and allowed copies to be made of all the little boys and girls that he would normally play with. And for some time, a long period of time passed. And Brahma was wondering, but how is this happening? How is this possible? He's neutral, he's happy, it's as if he doesn't know they are missing. But he knows because he saw me. Now, he's not, raising a flag, he's not quarreling, he's just doing his job. And by the end of that discourse, that same Brahma had to come and beg. And today, in the calendar, today at around 11:50 something, is Kal Ashtami day, or the Kal Ashtami Puja day. And this is the day people worship Bhairu Baba. Today is an auspicious day. Beside the Shravan and the month of Shravan, today is a day people worship for that protection. Lord Vishnu is always safeguarded from impervious, from the thoughts, the deeds, the actions of his devotees. He is impervious to the negativity, the jealousy, the envy, the hatred some people have for God. And what it does is, whatever that person echoes or says in their prayer would affect them rather than affect him. But what he does say, he helps those that are in need. So Raja Parikshit wants to know, what do you mean? Further, could you explain this with an example? Let's hear what happens when somebody called Vrita goes now and he listens to Narad Muni and he takes the advice, finish with the Durga. Durga is not working, he move off the Durga Murti and he puts in its place a Shiv Lingam and he's worshipping every day, he's doing every day because he wants blessing. The only reason he's doing the prayer is because he wants power, power to kill, power to rape, power. He wants power. So he does the prayer very ardently, very correct. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharana.
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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharana.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharana.
Eka Vrkasura Kshamate Swasti Jhati Agni Vala Ye Abhirachita Ye Atao Ye Nat Buddhi Kushyate.
Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharana. 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 Jaya Samba Shiva Tab Sharana. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharana.
Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Lord Vishnu says that at one point Vrita had gotten through with Lord Shiva, but it came with some sacrifice. Lord Shiva did not want to appear in front of him, so he starts to take a knife and cleave to the bone, pieces of his body, flesh, blood, and he's cutting, and that's the Purnahoti, the final offering into the fire. And he did that morning, lunchtime, night, for many days. His body is literally covered in sores now. His body is as if in a little bit he will have to give up his life. And Lord Shiva still didn't appear. Lord Shiva is waiting. And when he put the knife to the neck, intent on cutting off his head, to offer that for Lord Shiva. He wants the blessing, he wants the blessing, he wants the blessing. He had already started to cut the skin. And as he's pushing forward to take his life, Nandi tells the Lord Shiva, Prabhu, are you watching? Are you seeing? Lord Shiva becomes very worried. And he takes form in front of Vrita. And he says, O demon, O Asur, stop. I have come, I'm going to grant you your desires. This thinking must stop. And in this way, Vrita is able to converse with Lord Shiva and describe to him what the jari, what the different prayer method, what it does for a person and how to use it, how to get what you want out of that type of prayer. Vrita now says, Prabhu, I want to control just as you. I want to control the Brahman. I want to use my hands, my body, to utilize this form of energy to conquer my enemy. Not to help, not to uplift, not to guide, not to bless. Me and you, we go to prayers, you watch a murti and you see this hand gesture. This hand gesture refers, it's called Abhya Mudra. Abhya Mudra means that the diksha or the unseen energy from this section of the hand permeate. Blessing permeate and it shoots out. And you bless somebody and you uplift their aura by this usage of Brahman or what we call Shakti. Dear God, bless the child, he will pass maths. Wife, God bless you, you will live long. Child, God bless you, you will get through. In other words, this method is shooting energy from one person to another person, sharing of energy to lift the person. He doesn't want to do that. Apparent, Lord Krishna said last night to Sudama, the first guru is the first God. The God that could uplift the person by their words, by their energy. But Vrita wants the knowledge of all these different things. So imagine, how do you receive Charanamrit? You're the Hindu, Sanatan Dharma, eternal Dharma, Dharma, not puja now, but how to live. So there's a way to sit. We talked about how you sit when you're doing Chap, when you let your 2 feet meet underneath like this. There's a method. So tell me, when you get Charanamrit, how you do your hand? You know the answer for this. Yes, right hand over left hand, but you take the index finger and you bend it, and this thumb is supposed to come on the nail. So this is how your finger is supposed to be. And by pressing the nail, the nerve, you are activating the stomach. You see this when you are when you're accepting the Ashram in every Katha. When they are washing their hand and washing their hand and washing their hand and they're sipping and sipping and sipping, Ashram is imperative. Ashram is the biggest thing in the puja because they offer the devta 3 times this water. And the reason is, when you press this nerve on the index finger nail, you are activating the nerve endings in the stomach. So the person is drinking something blessed, cleansing, etc. And you're saying, dear God, let it absorb into my body quick. Don't let it slip past the stomach into the intestine. Let it get into my body and permeate. Ready. Charge. Go. I washed the foot. Last night we hear how Krishna washed the foot because of the Gayatri. When you wash the shaligram and you drink the washings of the shaligram, how you call it? It goes in as Panchamrit, 5 liquid. But when you wash the shaligram and it comes back in the cup, it's called Charan Amrit. Charan is from your ankle to your toe, the foot. I am drinking the washings of Lord Vishnu foot, and I want it to get into my body, absorb into my body, and let it feed the body. This, for example, another hand gesture, another way I could learn it, and this would benefit me now. So teach me all this. When you see Lord Shiva have different mudra and the person press the nerve tips of the finger, they are activating different things in the head, different things you press in your hand. If you watch his hand gestures, think what I'm saying. And did you see this one? I show you when somebody bless you with their hand like this. Think what I'm saying. We just see it, but we don't know this secret science. When you go wedding, you ever see it in wedding? Uncle come, and you're going in a hurry, and you see people chume. Where is chume? A hand gesture that is look like a Maggie, right? And this one have to do with why we just eat with we hand. And you have one spoon. We talk about this already in Sunday morning. you have one spoon, but you never take one spoon for food spoon. So it have to have a reason why we eat with we hand, but I just don't know it. This calls Lakshmi. I am using an English word, a conjuring, a calling Lakshmi. So the person, when they're going to do the chumain, they are saying, Lakshmi Mata, sit down. They're going to get married. Take off the najar, take off the bad. Let it go, have a good time, be happy and start on a good footing, good life. When you go to eat, you do the same thing. Chana and aloo, Mother Lakshmi, bless it. Mother, bless it. This is why we focus. You ever hear your older people say, hey, eat it with your hand. The spoon really has no benefit. It has no blessing. But every time you use your hand, this is where your hand is as if I did this. This is offered because you are offering the different deotas, the different organs, the different elements. Dear God, please accept it. This is why we hold to this gesture when we are saying praise. So imagine there is a science of your hand. It's just we don't know it. Some of it we do, but we don't know why we do it. For example, eating in the way we eat. Think about it. You ever see somebody eat with their left hand? That's a trick question. You're not supposed to eat with your left hand. I use it myself. If you sit with me by the table, and you might see my left hand on my lap, or if I say on the ground, I usually have my hand towel covering my left hand. Just because I might be tempted to pull roti and roti like this. I have no training. Proper training is, left hand is reserved for washroom in our culture. So you don't want out of etiquette and cleanliness. This one, although yes, you could sanitize your hand. I'm not saying no to that. That is reality. But our Dharma says you keep your left hand for that purpose. So I'm not going to endeavor to eat with it. So the right hand, the person press the roti with this two finger and this finger and they tear it. You train to eat only with your right hand. Everything, take your time and eat, but only with your right hand. So somebody comes from India and they see we just be eating gavar labsar, so they just watch we like we not trained properly. So his first part of his prayer was, teach me the energy and how to manipulate the energy using hands. So whether it is an internal practice, external practice, I want to know the science of it. So when I use my hands, I will be able to bless somebody, but I would like that when I put my hand on the head of somebody as far as this, let the heat or the Devi that gives heat, let that heat damage and kill anybody I want damaged or killed. And the funny thing is, there are people who would be attracted to this type of prayer. Funny thing is, Lord Shiva, give him it. Lord Shiva says, no problem. Guruji says, as he got the blessing, as Lord Shiva said, let it be so. Vrita wanted to test the potency of the power. And he wants to go now and put his hand on top of that same Lord Shiva head. And he started, Lord Shiva had to move, Lord Shiva is starting to run. In Ganapati Khan of Brahmvaivat Puran, the same discourse is given there, where Ganesh Baba is told by Narad Muni, your father is in trouble. Look, somebody running to burn him, and you starting to play with Kartik. Likewise, in this section, this of Bhagavad, Lord Shiva is running from Brahma house to Devi house to everybody house, and nobody is able to help him. Narad Muni tells to Lord Shiva in the running process, the only person that could help you, the only person that helps any person when their life is full of trouble, hatred, harm, darkness, pressure, problems that are not easily solved, is Lord Vishnu. His blessing is a little hard to attain, to get. But oh Shiva, if you go there now, rest assured, you will get somebody to help you. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Sometimes when you have difficult moments, we all go looking for help. Maybe this time I'll find the right doctor. Maybe I'll get the right advisor, the right psychiatrist, the right psychologist to tell me what is this I am fighting. Imagine in today's world, if we had to be very practical, parents are trying to do the basic. We all grew up with our parents. All they had to do was cook the roti and you knew to eat it, and that was good. Nowadays, parents have to update a laptop, deal with 2 bullies in school, deal with ADHD inside the child, dyslexia, all forms of enemies. And who teaching you how to deal with it? The parent is told, if you can't control your child's hyperness, get your child out of the school. And many people, see Darren, many people are praying and asking God, help me God, help me God, help this child settle in school, help this child to make friends and socialize and be a healthy person. But it seems sometimes, even in real life, and I'm just using children, sometimes in our life, the prayers is not translating, see Dharam, the prayers is not translating into help. It is not making, in some people's case, it is not making a difference. O Parikshit, in your own life, this happened. He says, let's see what Lord Shiva did in this example. Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe,
Radhe, Radhe, Radhe.
Vaikundapati Janadayatam Kriparajan Swalam Abhirajan Abhijanatu Pushyape Vinaye Bhavanaye Yati Vishwayati Shanti Shiva Rudra Shama Pratna Punyaye Yati Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe. Go back, go back. Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki Jai. Do you remember how many times something bad is happening? And Indra goes to Brahma first, and then they say, let's go to Lord Shiva. And then they turn, and it's as if the buck, most of the time, buck stops with Lord Vishnu. They end up by him. In Bhagavad, it explains, and we'll do this later, that's my last discourse. How come in all that we listen to, everything you believe in as a Sanatanist, Lord Vishnu is incarnated. Lord Vishnu is incarnated. Lord Vishnu is coming. There's a form to come, Kalki. Right? All the other devatas come. They want to witness. So we end up with the cow, and in the hoof of the cow, the Vedas, in the tail of the cow, Yamraj. We heard all of this. How come he is given this designation that you are the main star boy, as it were, and everybody else is supporting, like how Lord Shiva comes as Hanuman when Sri Ram was there. When the Muni made the decision between Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, and as I said, we'll do that discourse in detail, because of how Lord Vishnu was, his mannerisms, he's given the appointment. He said that you will be the one that, whilst this one creates and regenerate, this one will recycle the atomic structure of everything. If you take it, if you look at how our Dharma describes the creation, we just use different words for what we call the atom or the carbon chain that makes up everything. When we talk about Lord Shiva having the designation to destroy, is not destroy. We honestly believe that energy or the Jiva, you hear it when in Gita when he talks about the Jivatma cannot be burned, it cannot be destroyed, it has to be recycled. It is taken from one form and mashed up and converted into another form. In science, under Newton's law, the electrical power in the line could be converted to light, converted to sound, converted to something else. And it fits in line with the Hindu belief that that Brahman or Shakti is what we use to make everything. Brahma is guiding, please be a solid wall, mother. Lord Shiva is saying, all right, time for that wall to come down. Time is passing. Go back and be the energy that Brahma will take and make the fig tree. Likewise, based on your karma now, yes, you have a physical structure, mountain, this, that, and the other, Siddharam. But the Jivatma, depending on the karma, fits into that structure. So, for example, we came to prayers, and somebody says, but how come? How come? If Tulsi Mata is so great, for example, if she is so great and pure and cleansing and all the good things that we associate with Tulsi Mata, why is Tulsi Mata just a shrub, a tree, and not a murti? How come there's no point where she becomes a murti with 4 hands like Lakshmi Mata? And then you hear about the part where she wants to marry Ganesh. Why we don't put Tulsi in Ganesh prayer? And he said to her, he gives her a shrub, that because you stretch your hands like this and you wanted to show your youth, your body, your private, she says in the Katha, she says, look at me, you should want to marry me. I'm a good looking person, I'm young. Why don't you want to marry me? And he says, you see just how you do your hand? That is how when people enjoy being naked and they lose their modesty, God takes their Jivatma from this life in the human body where you lost it, and in your next life you become the Dodos mango, you become the Julie mango, you become a tree, you'll spread your hands and all your fruits will be on display. When you think about it, in his construction of the world, there has to be a form of accountability so that he knows who becomes the dog, who becomes the tree, who becomes the whatever, who remains like a stone for a period of time. I think that is dealt with in Ramayana, if you remember. The lady had to be a stone for some time, and then Sri Ram touched her with his foot. When you think about it, the creation process has a little order to it, although it looks haphazard. But in everything, Lord Vishnu is the one that everything has to reach by him if it is that bad, and then it has to change or stop. Lord Shiva reached to the ebb of Sheshnag, and in a very hasty way, not the calm Shiva. He says, O Prabhu who sleeps on the liquid Lakshmi ocean. When you hear people talk about the milky ocean, somebody asks you as a Hindu, what's the big fuss about milk? Dar, lingam, why milk? Of all the animal products that you use, why milk? Milk is described as liquid Lakshmi. How I give is so I get. So when I offer the jal, as I say in jal, but dar, when I offer anything that has milk in it, I am praying, dear God, I'm giving this cooling substance, like in the form of the lingam. Please accept it, but bless me with the grace of Lakshmi Mata, so that I could be healthy, happy, peaceful, not only finance. He says, if today you help me, I will take off my Rudraksh bead. All my tears when Sati Mata is burning and I started to cry, so the Rudraksh bead came from his tears. It aksh me in his teardrop. If you save me today from this person that I gave this power to, I am willing. If you tell me take off this, if you tell me take off the snake on the neck, his adornment is what he's trying to focus on. You tell me what is my punishment for easily giving people this amount of power? And Lord Vishnu reminds him, Shiv Baba, you have to screen people properly. You have to give people power with discretion. Not because somebody asks for something means they are ready for it. In this life, people think they know, okay, I want a baby, I want to be married. And then when they get into the circumstance, they cannot handle the responsibility or the lifestyle. So now they want to run from the same thing you was praying. Dear God, please give me that. I want that. I can't live without that. He says it doesn't work like that. The person has to earn it through karma. Let them born and come. Let them born and come. Let them learn to appreciate what they have. In this way, a person works hard and tirelessly for this human birth. And what is the value of the human birth, O Shiv Baba? The ability to think, the conscious thought, the subconscious thought, to do things with muscle memory. The way if we have to go, you ever see somebody light candle for birthday cake and even in lighting the candle, they touch in hand? It becomes so natural that I am lighting a flame like this, that I have to put my hand like this. Muscle memory. I am so accustomed doing it like that. I have to bow. I have seen people light candle for birthday cake. We talk about blowing out the candle being against our Sanatan Dharma. But the person lighting and they want to bow to the candle. You ever see somebody do that? What do you think about that? Is that wrong? Would you say it wrong? No. In the same breath, we are saying it wrong to blow and let spit. My language, spit. Contaminate the light. Light is light. In whichever form, there are different words, Roshni, Jyoti, deep, different words we use to describe night light, sunlight, different words. But light is where we bow. We bow to the moon, we bow to the sun, we bow to the Diya, we bow to the Havan because of the content of that light. Wherever that light is, a person could pay homage. For this reason, when people are traveling, you might see somebody bow to a bulb. If there's no murti and I'm getting ready to board a plane or something, there's no limit to where I can pray or where I cannot pray. If I see God inside of that light, that is God. We do the same thing. We see Lakshmi Mata standing up, we see Shiv Baba sitting down, then he will stand up. Same Shiv Baba in whichever form. Today's Bhairu Baba Day, you will see him in a different form. You will still bow to him. God. The Hindu is the person who will see God inside the bush, the dog, the rat, the snake, you name it, God. So where's that limit? Where do you say, okay, God lives in the church, but God can't live by the tree? That is not your dharma. Shiv Baba, from today, you are going to be, as part of the punishment, you will be in charge of all the different servant, all this thing called pisach, goblins, souls that are punished, prayed, souls that are wicked, have a bad history, a poor history with final rites and shroud. The other night we did the Katha where Nirga, the lizard, blessed person, but when he was given Dan, he mixed up, he regifted what he gave one Baba, he gave it to the next Baba, and he got shrap from the guys. And for that reason, his soul was put into a form of a lizard, summary form. And when they asked him, what did you do? This was the mistake he made. Say, okay, so now Lord Shiva is going to get his punishment. And this is how, if you hear somebody ill speak, like when we're doing the Katha, where Lord Shiva is getting married, And Parvati Mata has to see him on the Bharat. It come in and she sees. And because of a shrap that happened with her, instead of she see the pretty fineries that everybody else was seeing, where he's dressed today in gold and all of that, she sees Bhutnath. This is how he gets the name, the Lord of all the boot and the Lord of the cemetery ground and the Lord of all of that. Till today, Agoric people, when Lord Shiva have the five-headed form, the fourth head on the left side, that Agoric form, people will go in India where Sati Mata body fell to the earth and was burning, where her breast fell, where her lip fell, where her finger fell. In those places, pyres burn day and night, day and night, day and night, burning people. Agoric sadhus go, chuck their hand into the ash, and they take the basma and they rub it on their body. It seems strange for me and you to see that or to even think about doing that. But remember, when you go to funeral, you have to understand your prayers. The little Hawan that is in front the pyre is a form of God. We talked about yesterday the three forms of Agni. That form of Agni that accepts bone, hair, bodily fluid, please take it and transport it. It is, in essence, it is prasad. For these people, they like that prasad. They take the basma and they put it on their body. He says, you will now become Bhutnath. And anybody who does not do proper rites, the person who dies via suicide, the person who condemns young, the person, meaning, let me say, how you call it, abortion and them kind of procedure, the person who does it, suffering in this way. In Christianity, they call it purgatory. Hinduism has that same type of punishment, where the soul has to remain on the surface and roam. What are you roaming? Go like a person who is trying to burn off karma. It have jag here, they go reach. It have prayers round the corner, they go reach there. Now up the road have a prayers. Go there now, go walk. They did it with Bhairav Baba. Remember, Bhairav Baba has a skull in his hand when he cut off the head of Brahma, and they told him, walk, and you will not stop walking until you pay for that crime you did. People is think that Bhairav Baba have a skull in his hand because he wore blood, he wore a chop off somebody's head. People is put all kind of meaning to these things. The truth is, they told him, hold this head like a bowl, turn it upside down, and you go and beg. You are not entitled to anything. This is where people started to call him the master of the land. Imagine somebody walking inside the road and you stand up in front of your property with a fig, where the person give you something in your bowl, protect them. So he was lodged on the earth, and he was told that whoever feed you or give you something, you protect them. For that reason, people associate what we in North India would call Vastu Puja, from Vastu Sastra, the Devta that live in the land. And they say that Bhairav Baba is one and the same, that if you take out for the land, you will get his blessing. He says, you will become these people Lord and Master, and you will have to tolerate all their ways, their wildness, their unruliness, and in this uncouth form, you will remain as that. He says, leave Vrita for me to deal with. Lord Shiva moves off very happy, very calm, and Vrita meets Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu tells him, are you even sure that fella that you refer to as Shiva is being honest? How do you know the power that you have in your hand is real? He said, there's only one way. Put the hand over your own head. Of course, there are different versions of this same discourse. He says, what will happen is, if it does not work, go ahead and kill Shiva Baba. Destroy him. He fooled you, tricked you. 1, 2, 3. Vrita put his hand here, and just as if Indra had released a vraj or a thunderbolt, it struck down Vrita by his own touch because of the potency of the power. For this reason, whenever a person listens to Bhagavad and they listen to the discourse of Vrkasura, This personality that studied the power of the hands, the hand gestures, the mudras as we say, the person is able to control this world at literally the tips of their fingers. Whatever a person sin, whatever mistake, whatever infraction they have committed in young boyhood or womanhood, mature age, consenting adult, or in older age, via the thoughts, their tongue, their speech, physical speech, or their deeds, any type of these offenses, a person is able to utilize the hand gesture, utilize their prayer, and overcome the mistakes. For this reason, when you see somebody sit to do Chap, and you see the person is using different hand posture, understand what they are doing. Everybody put your hands together as we do the Ashirvad for this part. Whosoever hears or listens to the account of the liberation of Lord Shiva when he was in mortal danger, where Lord Vishnu comes as the supreme Paramatma or the supreme soul, soul of souls. That person, when they are in this sea, in this battle of good and bad, in the sansar of a cycle of time given by God, but you are chased by death in different forms. So, in the time you're born, death is running you down. That person becomes free from danger just by listening to this discourse. Just as Lord Shiva was in a dangerous situation, you and I get the blessing that if there is somebody threatening you, if there is somebody stalking you, if there is somebody attacking you, sometimes if a person is using all type of black magic, I don't know the mind, I don't know the prayer of another person, but dear Lord, give me your protection just as you did for Lord Shiva, and keep me safe in my place of work, in my family. Dear God, everybody does smile with you, but not everybody does wish you well. Please sit on my body and work in my life. And when I go in front of somebody, just like in Satyanarayan Katha, let the energy of my aura influence the person I'm speaking to, and let them just blurt it out. Let the truth come out. Where the enemy, where the unrighteous live, let me know the truth. Bless me and give me that sense of guidance, where to eat, who to associate with or not to eat from certain people, not to associate with certain people. Dear God, you have to work within me, and you have to guide my very and every footstep in this battlefield, just as you guided Arjun in the battlefield of Mahabharata in Kurukshetra, and you showed him where to go, how to think, how to pray, how to look, how to do. When Abhimanyu was killed and they were very depressed, you guided them then. From time to time, each person here will go through different tests, some minor, some major. Dear God, please be my defender, my protector, my shield, and my very guide. Put me in the chariot and you drive, and you show me how do I get to my destination safely. Secure the road and secure this vehicle and be my driver. Today, as we conclude this session, may you bless and allow the grace of Mahavishnu, Krishna, to be upon each and every one of your children listening to me. May you save us from spiritual, physical, hormonal, emotional attack and abuse in whichever form, whichever source it comes from. This is our prayer. Please secure the peace and the happiness that we all need and desire. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. He Nanda Nanda Gopal, Ananda Nanda Gopal. Before we separate, everybody, let's go a little chant. Sing for him a little bit, and then we'll close. Hey Nanda Nanda Gopal, Ananda Nanda Gopal. Nanda Nanda Gopal, Ananda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda Nanda Ananda Nanda Yadunanda Nanda 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 Gopal, Nanda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda 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 Yadunanda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda Nanda Gopal. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. So this morning, as we conclude our last morning of Bhagavad, as you walk away, if you have to leave, consider why you do his worship. In your own way, as I said last night, Sudama, I love that discourse. It remains with me when I'm saying my prayers, when I am doing. Part of this initiative of doing Bhagavad is to give you the information, but also provide you with the different episodes where people called on Lord Krishna. And if it speaks to you, remember it. Let it guide your prayer. Let it guide you in your moment. Let it remain with you, guiding you in your times of need, especially when you have your moments of test. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we do Arati to close this section before we go into our next set of puja. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam Rahina yojitam mayam Deepam Rehana Devesham Trilokyatimirapam Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti Papiyon ko paap se taarti Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki aarti Papiyon ko paap se taarti Ye amar granth ye mukti pant ye pancham veda nirala नव ज्योति जगाने वाला अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंचे पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल के Everybody. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki aarti Ye Shanti Geet Pavan Puneet Papo ko mitane wala Hari darshan kaane wala Ye Shanti Geet Pavan Puneet Papo ko mitane सुख करनी है जो कहनी
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी
ये मधुसूदन के आरती
पापियों को पाप से तारनी
जय जय भागवत
भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से तारनी
ये मधुर बोल जग पंड कोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
ये मधुर बोल जग पंथ को सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
प्रभु की महिमा के आरती
पापियों को पाप से
Everybody.
तारनी जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से तारनी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
जय नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
नारायण वासुदेवा
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
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 राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय
नाम शिवाय नाम शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नाम शिवाय नाम शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नाम शिवाय नाम शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नाम शिवाय नाम शिवाय. As we put our hands together, with all the dengue and all the kidnapping, the murder, the car robbery, the house robbery, financial insecurity, job insecurity, take 1 second and just say a little prayer. Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, today I find myself in a position similar to Lord Shiva in this Leela that was portrayed. There are people that would like to put their hand on me and burn me down. There are people that exist in this world for no good reason, would like to see me turn to ash, destroy me, destroy my family. I may not be the target. It could be the female in the family, it could be the young boy in the family. You alone know. If my karma be to be in such a situation, today I'm begging, please protect me from the crown of my head to the sole of my foot and all the members of my family. Dear Lord, I thank you for the opportunity to be in the company of good people doing good things, or what we call satsang. Thank you for affording me the opportunity to use my ears, to hear, to listen to something good and beneficial. Thank you for this chance, dear God. Together, everybody. Tvameva Mata, Tvameva Bandhuscha, Tvameva Vidya, Tvameva Sarvam,
Deva Deva
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva
Om Shanti, everybody. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki, Pavanapatra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Jai. Satya, Sanatan, Dharma ki, Jai. Jai Jai, Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your seat.